My name is Mike Whitmire with Cosmo Brands, and the purpose of this video is to introduce you to the C-872 electronic focus telescope and walk you through the setup. So let's get started. First thing you need to do is take out your instructions. On page 4 of your instructions, you're going to see a detailed listing of all the accessories that come with your telescope. They'll be marked in a box in the master carton called accessories. Just make sure they're all in there. For the rest of the instructions will duplicate what I'm going to show you in the next few minutes. First thing you want to do is you want to take your tripod out of the box. Now I've already extended the legs on the tripod, but all you need to do is loosen this tightening knob here, extend the legs, and then tighten them back up and set your tripod up. Now on the bottom of the tripod you're going to see these retractable rubber feet over here, which are there so you can use the telescope in the dirt by twisting them back, exposing the tips, or you can use the rubber to protect whatever hard pan you may be on. The next thing you want to do is take out your accessory tray. It's very easy to put on your tripod. You just spread your tripod and they just hook right here on each leg in its proper position. As you can see, it's very simple. And then you just tighten these knobs. Don't over tighten them, but snug them down, because this is where a lot of the stability to the telescope comes in. And this accessory tray adds to the stability. Okay? It also is called an accessory tray because this is where you're going to keep your eyepieces and the other accessories while you're observing. So it has a dual function. Next thing you want to do is you want to take your telescope, we call it the optical tube assembly, out of the OTA box. Simply remove this knob, make sure this washer stays in place, put it down on top of the tripod, and then just reconnect the knob. Basically, 95% of your telescope is now set up. This is a refracting telescope, and it gets its name because it has an objective lens. This happens to be a aerospace multi-coated 72mm objective lens. That means it's really wide. It's as wide as a lot of reflectors out there. It's multi-coated to give you a more efficient light transmission through the telescope tube and out the eyepiece. Now, this little rod right here, this is what we call a declination rod. You loosen this knob right here, as you can see in our screen, to make your macro movements. You then tighten it, and then you use this collar here to make your micro altitude adjustments. So that's what this rod is for. The next thing you want to do is you want to take your Mars Eye finder scope. Now this is really the main, very important part of your telescope, because you want to align the red dot that you're going to see, as you see in our screen here. You want to align that red dot with what the telescope sees. So you simply loosen these connecting knobs, you set it down on your dovetail, and you tighten up the knobs, and there you go. Now, with the telescope itself, with your connecting knob here, you don't want to over tighten it. You want it snug, but you want to be able to move your telescope left and right. Okay? The next thing you do is you take your diagonal prism. This is what gives you the ability to look both on land and in the sky. Because normally when you use a telescope to look into the sky, the images are upside down. But we've designed this telescope to be used up there and across the ground. So the prism in here brings that upside down image right side up. You just take that, you put it in your focuser, and there's a set screw back here that you tighten to put your diagonal in your focuser. And then I want you to take your 25mm eyepiece. You'll see the power conversion that the 25 gives you in your instruction, but this is your lower power with your wider field of view. It's also multi-coated and color corrected. You simply put that in your diagonal prism here, and now you're ready to go. One of the sweet things about this, which sets this apart from any other refracting telescope on the market, and there are several things that are going to set this apart, like your 72mm multi-coated objective and your pre-assembled tripod, but this is an electronic focuser. So you simply come over here, you put your batteries in it, you come over here, you turn it on, you'll see it flash green a few times. And then, from that point forward, you can focus your telescope by merely pointing your remote at the port right here. It has to be out here, or you got to make contact there. You also have a slow motion control on this. So you can macro and micro for that fine tuning. So all of your focusing can be done without touching the telescope. If for some reason your batteries might die or whatever, there's a clutch on the back side here that you simply loosen, and then you can focus the telescope manually right here. Okay? You'll also find in your box, you'll find what we call a Barlow lens. This multiplies the power of the eyepieces by 3 times. And one thing about power, you don't want to overpower your telescope. Everybody thinks that they want the most powerful telescope out there. Think about it. You can see the moon with the naked eye. So it's not how far you can see with this, it's how close the telescope will bring what you're looking at clearly. The more power you use, the dimmer the image is going to be, and the more narrow your field of view is going to be. All right, so I want you to practice and get familiar with the 25. Then you can use the 10. The 10 millimeter eyepiece will give you 80 power. I discourage you using the 10 millimeter eyepiece with the Barlow. I wouldn't use it. So you can use the Barlow with the 25 and any other accessory eyepieces that you might buy from 12 to 25 or 30 millimeters. Other than that, we have our Cassini CD-ROM, which is going to show you everything in the sky. On your day, in your city, if you have any questions, it also has a lot of information on there. It's like a dictionary and a planetarium in your computer. So all in all, the C-872EFS refracting telescope is without question the best value on the market for somebody who wants terrestrial and astronomical viewing pleasures, who may be purchasing their telescope for the very first or second time. That said, thank you for watching the video. If you have any other questions, please access our website, cosmooptics.com. Go to Contact Us, Customer Service, write us your concerns or your questions, and we'll get right back to you.